Paul, how do you best measure the edge of your yield in different parts of the body, if different parts will yield easier than others? Okay, so Paul's asking the question. I was talking your stability, your mobility, and then your flexibility, and you're going as far as you can, but you're keeping your joints open, and you're keeping your stability, and then you're finding your edge, and you're looking to play with that edge, and you're moving in micro movements. So Paul is basically asking is, how do some of my joints are more mobile than others. Some are tight, some are freer. Some of my muscles are stronger, some of my muscles are weaker. Is a simple way to describe it is, and I'll use it this way. I remember my practice years ago that I used to be far better on my right side than I did on my left side. Is I could go deeper into postures on my right side than I could my left. And I used to really throw myself in on the right side, and then I'd try and throw myself in on the left side, couldn't keep it, and then I'd be really critical of the left side of my body. And then I realized after a while, this isn't really working. And I started to figure out what it was to be centered. And then I started to figure out the balance of it. And then I realized that my right side has strengths and my left side has strengths. And I'll ask it to you this way, is if you're washing a pot, which hand do you hold the pot with? And which hand do you wash it with to scrub it? So I generally hold pots with my left hand, wash them with my right hand. That's fine. That's a tendency I have. I'm always switching over just to play to build the strengths on both. But let's get a little bit more serious about it. You're hanging off a cliff. You're hanging off a cliff. It's not a good situation. You've got handholds in front of you, okay, and you've got to get up to the next level. Which hand are you better to hold with, and which hand are you better to search for another grip with? Which would come more naturally to you? Which one can you hold longer with? Sometimes people will say, oh yeah, I'll use my right. But the right isn't used to holding. For me anyway, my right isn't used to holding. My left is used to holding. So if I'm on a cliff, I'm going to hold with my left and search with my right. And I'll pull myself up, I'll hold with my left, I'll search with my right, because that's the way I'm used to doing it. I'm using the strengths of both sides. So why am I saying this? Is I remember that on my right side of postures, I was much more dominant. So then what I did was I decided that rather than always focusing on my strengths and having my strengths lead my practice, I said, I'm not going to let my strengths lead my practice. I'm going to let my weaknesses lead my practice. So I'm going to focus on what my weaknesses are, and I'm going to hold them as my new edge. So my edge isn't my strengths anymore, it's my weaknesses. And I'm going to learn how to root down in my weaknesses. I'm going to create space in my weaknesses, and then I'm going to test the edge of my flexibility, but to do it with my weaknesses open and strong. So then I started to ease off on my left side and only go as far as I could on my left side, where I could maintain my stability, where I could maintain my mobility, and I only went as far as I could hold it strong. And I started to practice micro movements and finding a whole new space in my body that I wasn't looking for. And I started to build my weaknesses so that they could become strong. And equally, I started to notice on my right side, while my right side liked to throw itself into things, is when I pulled it back and asked my right side to hold it a little longer, it wasn't that strong. It was flexible, but it wasn't really strong. So then I realized that what I thought were my strengths were only strong as long as I was looking at the flexibility. But when I looked for the strength in it, the mobility and the stability, it wasn't there so well. So again, that opened up a whole new edge for me and my body. And really what I was doing, I was looking to bring both sides of my body together so that both sides of my body experienced the one center. So now I'm working through one center. I've got one line of force, moving through me. And that I was using the rebound effect, the lightness, to give me tone, but also to give me lightness and space. And then I opened that space and I shared it with both sides of my body. So now in every posture, both sides of my body are fully engaged in it. Neither one is dominating the other side anymore. Most times, everybody's human. You got to keep rolling with how your body changes. But it's that continual adjusting to it as you go along, Okay, so that was a big lesson for me to learn, and I really took to heart. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. It doesn't matter how big the links are. If you got one little link in the middle, that's as strong as that chain is. And I took that to heart. So when we start to focus on our limitations and our weaknesses, is they too can become strengths and very powerful. And especially when you bring them into your center and you have the rest of your body come along to work on building the strength of that weakness. So what was once a weakness now becomes a strength. And it's very powerful. Very, very powerful. So you move from, listen to what I'm saying, you move from strength into power, into real power. You really begin to see what your body can do when it's all working together. I get this on teacher training all the time. Is people say, oh, I can't do that, or it's too hard and it's tough. And in the way they're approaching it, it's true. Doing it that way is too hard. Okay, so let's pull back a little bit. Okay, so find your ground. Okay, got my ground. Let's lift up a little. Let's get that space in your body. Can you feel the space? Yeah. Oh, I'm working a bit harder. Yes, you are. I'm really feeling that. Yes, but are you stable? Yes, I am. Have you got space? Yes, I do. Boss, I'm working harder though. But you're stable and you've got space in it. Yes. Okay, so then you're fine. It's all good. We're all good here. We're going to keep going. Okay, so now let's go into the posture a bit more, and we're going to test your flexibility. So now as we go further into the posture and further into their body, are you still stable? Yes, I am. Well, feeling a bit more though. Okay, but it's all good though. Have you got space? Yes, I have. But geez, I'm really working. I said, yes, you are. Can you feel your power? Can you feel your strength? And I go, I can, but that's really strong. I said, that's right. It is really strong. That's your body. Your body is that strong.